This is a lesson for anybody that's watching or listening to this show. You want to win, like you want to win on social media? Be yourself, dude. Don't be your alter ego. That's what we're seeing on social media. If you are thinking about committing to a podcast, if you're thinking about launching your own show, don't commit to 100 episodes. Don't commit to 1 year. Commit to 1,000 shows. Jeez. Or don't commit at all. You cannot expect Joe Rogan results without Joe Rogan work ethic.
Reyes on the humble show. Yeah, we all in. Yeah, we all in. So grab your boys now, cause you know we all win. Lift your hands up.
Welcome back to the All In Podcast. I am your host, Carlos Reyes, and today is very special to everyone in this organization. Today is a milestone. That's right. Today is officially the 1 year anniversary of the show. So you know that we're going to bring it today and we're going to deliver value unlike the previous 49 episodes or 48 episodes. So you definitely want to stick around. But before we get into today's show, I just want to go around the room and introduce the usual suspects. Right across from me, it's the man, the myth, the legend, the most interesting man in the industry, Mr. Zady. To his right, another usual suspect, Adrian Salgado, aka Mr. Born Closer, and to my left, my business partner of over a decade, Mr. Sal Shakir. Gentlemen, start your engines. Today is the 1 year anniversary of the show.
That's consistency, right?
Milestone, baby. Let's go.
Great.
You know how many people I've seen start a podcast and then it just fades out after a few episodes? A lot. Most. 99%.
Yeah.
See, everybody wants PBD podcasts and Joe Rogan podcasts. Let me repeat that. Everybody wants PBD podcasts, Joe Rogan podcasts, Andy Frisella podcast results, but they're not willing to put in the work. They're not willing to put in PBD, Andy Frisella, Joe Rogan work. Oof. That means thousands and thousands of episodes.
It's like trying to be like Michael Jordan, but you're only LeBron James.
Wow. That's a crazy comparison. That's a crazy comparison.
Just shot.
But no, seriously, right? Like, you know, it's like I remember when we launched this show, because think about it. We've had a podcast before.
That's right.
And the podcast that we had back in 2018, which was called All In Entrepreneurs.
That was great.
It was a top 3 real estate podcast in the country or in the industry for sure.
So good.
Right? It was like Bigger Pockets. And then it was us. And then it was whoever else. Like, it didn't even matter.
We were
right?
hooligans, though.
Huh?
We were hooligans.
No, but what I'm saying is, why did it stop? It stopped after 50 episodes.
You know
see what I'm saying?
I'll tell you why.
Like, why did it stop?
In that sense, so some people stopped because they thought that, you know, they weren't for us, we didn't think we were getting fruits from it, A, or B, we were so distracted with everything else. We had the shiny object syndrome back in 2018.
I think what happened is that's when you guys moved from Copper Point. When you left Copper Point and you came here, then the fire happened. Everything was just delayed.
It wasn't, and that's not an excuse, because we shot in different rooms. I remember, you know, we shot in multiple rooms in different places. You know what I mean? So that's not an excuse to shut down a podcast that you're 50 episodes in.
Yeah.
Especially with the type of traction that it did have, even though we weren't conscious.
I was just trying to get your back. Fine, you were lazy.
No, actually, it's not because we're lazy. It's not because we're lazy.
Well, first of all, number one, we weren't even in a position to focus on monetizing on a podcast at the time. It was kind of a side project because we were really, really dialed in and focused in on real estate in general. And so it was just like, we're doing so good in real estate. Let's share what's going good for us.
Yeah.
There was no education or anything like that, really. It was just that. Then people started coming to the podcast. Then people were like, I want to learn what you guys are doing, things like that. Then the education started coming. So you put the podcast aside and say, we don't need the podcast.
Yeah.
We can just bring people in and teach them what we do and start monetizing.
Boy, we were wrong.
And we did. And we did it to an extreme we did it to a really, really high level, but it was so overwhelming as well too that we got burned out with that. Right? It was the fulfillment aspect of it. So I know when this podcast specifically, you know, we spend a lot of time together, but this podcast specifically and the format that it's in now is something that you've always talked about, right? Even when we started the education podcast, entrepreneur podcast, you always wanted to do something a little bit more like freeing and just like flowing,
like not pigeonholing ourselves.
Yeah, like I got
multiple people talking,
subject
one-on-one.
Yeah,
like multiple people.
Well, not even that. Not even that. It's just like the subject matter of it is like we're so much deeper than just real estate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. But real estate and that podcast pigeonholed us into that real estate podcast.
Well, and that's what, by the way, I don't know if you guys remember, you know, there was a little bit of resistance, not even just from in multiple ways when we started this show, right? But again, I study and learn from the very best. And in this case, it was like Andy Frisella, who has, in my opinion, one of the most consistent, actually, he has the #1 show in the world. If you go to business categories, right? If you go to Apple right now, yes. If you go to Apple Podcasts right now, right? And then you go into browse and search. And then you go to top charts, right? And then you go to all categories and you go to business, right? And you go to top shows. Sorry, right now it's #3, but it's usually #1, right? Like this guy has had.
Where's Rogan at? Well, Spotify.
I don't know if he's business.
1.
I wouldn't consider him business, but Andy Frisella has been top 3 or #1 in the world for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, he's consistent.
Or the #1 show is Ramsey?
Yeah, I'm sure he's very entertaining.
Gordon Ramsay?
But listen. So, do you guys understand?
I'm not trying to make a joke. I just
do you guys understand that the strategy, you know, this is the thing. It's like, dude, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Right? The strategy, this is where I got kind of the idea. Okay, watch this. So, when one of the last times I went to visit Andy in St. Louis, Emily Frisella specifically was like, hey, you know, what do you want to do? You're going to be on the show. Like, you want to go to lunch? You want to go to dinner? What do you want to do? You know what my dream was? What was my dream at that time?
Take the walk.
Take the 75 hard walk with Andy Frisella. Right? That was my dream. I was like, man, if I can just go on that walk with him, man, we would have 45 minutes to ourselves. That's where I learned about the razzle dazzle. That's where I learned about being the content. That's where I learned about standing on your principles and standing your ground, and 50% might not like you. All of that happened in that walk, Sal. How amazing is that?
I remember when you came back, you're like, Sal, I got to talk to you, man. Like,
yeah, I was about to explode.
Yeah, you're like, Sal, I got to tell you. No, you called me from the airport, actually. And then when you came, you explained to me what happened. You were mind blown.
I was mind blown. I mean, think about it, right? Like you're taking a 45-minute walk and you're just listening as a student to a guy that's built a $4 billion company. Empire, dude.
That's when you just listen and you don't talk, right?
You just shut your mouth. Yeah. And that's exactly what I did for 45 minutes, man, you know?
Which is very, very, very challenging.
Very hard for me to do. Very hard for me to do. Okay. But I did it because I know my place.
In the right room, you know?
Okay. Guess what? This is what's wrong. This is partly of what's wrong with the alpha male universe that you're seeing on social media these days. Is like most of these alphas can't be around other alphas. You know what I mean? Like they just don't know. Like they got to prove themselves around the next alpha. You know, like no, dude, shut your mouth. It's Andy Frisella.
He told Robert Kiyosaki to go F himself. But
I did.
To Andy Frisella. That's respect. I'm not saying that as a mock. It's just, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, the concept or strategy, like I needed to find my voice in the social media space, right? And who would have known? But let's be honest, social media these days, it's just about everything.
It's not on principles. It's about whatever gets.
No, I get that, but I'm saying like social media right now is so important It's so important. It's marketing, it's branding, it's promotion, it's awareness, it's business, it's connections, it's relationships. Social media has become television.
The marketing
it's the marketing. Yeah. I mean, you can look at the statistics from the news about like all these news channels and networks.
They don't even
their viewings down. People aren't even going to these news broadcasting stations to get their information. They go to social media to get everything now.
More people on like just average YouTube channels get more views than CNN. Like that's wild.
100%.
I'm not talking about the top. I'm talking about like average ones. They have 100,000 subscribers. They get more views.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan gets more reach and impressions and airtime than CNN. Think about that for a second. Who would have ever thought, right? Like some self-streaming YouTube show, right? Or even or Apple recording would get more reach and more airtime than a multi-billion-dollar company
with rules and
with red tape,
a bunch of red tape,
politics.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? The podcast I remember, and it's not just because of who he is, but it's kind of like what you guys did. So when Grant Cardone came on, so you know he is who he is, but the fact that he was in front of our gong, and he had an all-in hat on, and he hit the gong in front of the salespeople, bro. That was such an amazing moment, bro. That was like, he's supposed to be doing his branding and he's sitting there with the all-in hat. Like that guy doesn't wear anyone else's gear. I don't know if you.
I don't know if he would ever do that again.
Yeah,
right?
we caught him.
We caught him early. We caught him early.
He caught the vibes. Yeah.
We got Cardone when he was a little young.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I'm saying he wore an all-in hat, bro.
I got that video. You guys,
but here's what I'm saying, right? I wanted this show to just be about, you know, who we are as human beings, as individuals, you know. I didn't want it to just be about real estate. I didn't want it to just be about business. I didn't want it to just be about, what would you say?
Politics.
Entrepreneurship or politics. You know, I wanted it to be about just in general, man, like who we are and what our perspective in life is.
Challenges and obstacles that we face on a weekly and daily, monthly basis. Right? I mean, then we got my son's here in the office with us.
Studio.
Or in the studio with
baby
us.
Closer.
You know, I just saw a picture the other day from when we were first setting up the podcast, and you were sitting right there and he was sitting right here and you're giving him an interview. And then we go back to sitting down in here and brainstorming about the very first podcast when we had the other guys on here with us as well too.
By the way, I want to give them a shout out, obviously. You know, a shout out to Phil and shout out to Garrett, because, you know, they were a part of this show early on. And, you know, it's like this show has everybody who's been a part of this show has made the show, you know, like this show wouldn't be where it is right now 1 year later without everybody's participation and energy, you know, and insight. So.
Feels a little bit quiet with them not here, you know. This is a lot more dead air time.
Everybody's Zady taking a shot. Carlos just talking about something beautiful, and then Zady took a crap on it.
They know I love them if they're watching, bro. They know. I got to be the character, bro.
I get it.
You don't do this and like, hey, I love you. You know, it don't work like that, bro.
You did that.
But
way too good.
But here's why I think this show is having the success it's having. And guess what, guys? We're only 49 episodes in.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine when we're 1,000 episodes in?
Wow.
What does that look like? Guess what?
You must be a lot older by then. You're definitely.
Well, we did 49. We did about 49 episodes in 1 year. Damn, I'm like 70. Or else we just gotta do more, right? Because, bro, seriously, Rogan is like over 2,000. You know, Andy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have
thousands. Talk about more episodes.
You're gonna have to triple. You're gonna have to triple down on episodes.
Say that I endured everything, no matter what. We all can talk about life was busy, something happened. I couldn't make it because whatever. Sometimes we miss meals. But for somebody to do this many episodes, that means they have not missed much. Like the discipline.
Their commitment and the discipline, absolutely.
It's got to be admirable.
Yeah, the dedication.
It's insane.
How many weeks in a year? 52.
Yeah.
So we missed. We're at 49. Wow, we missed 3 weeks.
I don't think so.
I don't think we. I
no.
think we recorded because we recorded a couple episodes.
Yeah, there's been some shows that haven't aired, like the Dan Martell show, right?
Robert
that
Wensley
didn't air.
show.
Why
Robert
didn't we air that?
Wensley.
We didn't air Dan Martell's show,
Ah,
bro. What?
Yeah, bro.
That was.
I mean, his
fire,
autograph is
bro.
somewhere on there. Right?
That was
You know?
fire.
That was
It
a great
was.
show too.
So
It was,
great.
but the staff that we used to have back in the day, I think they either lost it or I don't know where it is.
Or they took it where they
Anyway.
are now.
Right, moving on. So anyway, when I got that insight from Andy, and as you can see, bro, our show is very like, if you think about Andy, right? Andy has the tape over his mouth, and it says society.
Mm.
I have the tape over. I have the blindfold over my eyes, and it says truth. So you see, like I took what is it? What do they say?
Good artist.
A good artist copies, a great artist steals. Right.
You're a thief, Fato.
I like to take amazing creative ideas and make them better.
R&D.
Yeah.
I think
Rip
honestly,
off and duplicate.
if
I thought-
honestly, I think if I had to pinpoint my All In, the company All In, phase one, or going back, everything, the thing that All In does best is that it's get something and then make it better. Like what he did with every CRM that you guys have touched. It's like, hey, the CRM is good, but it can't do this. Let's just make one. Like, hey, these programs do this, but they don't teach you this. Let's just make one. It's just real estate. No one is doing it like this. Maybe we should do it like this. And then boom, $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. So I think it's a talent that you guys have, man. You guys take something and you just make it better, bro. That's just what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, no. So it, like I was saying, the world we live in today, right, which is 2025.
Robots are here.
Well, I saw that. Authenticity. It's almost non-existent. Authenticity is non-existent, dude. Like, you know what I'm seeing on social, and this is a lesson for anybody that's watching or listening to this show, right? You want to win, like you want to win, like you want to win on social media. Be yourself, dude. Don't be your alter ego. That's what we're seeing on social media. You're seeing a bunch of alter egos. Like, Terrell Owens had what? T.O.
Yeah.
Right? You see, that's all. Are you seeing what I'm seeing now? Everyone's alter ego is on social. Alpha male universe. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, you don't see challenges. You don't see struggle, right? You don't see how they really live. They show you, oh, I'm the
great.
mom of the year, dad of the year, husband of the year, right? Oh, look at me, I'm in shape, and blah, blah,
Hey,
blah.
I've been to prison.
Right, whatever, right? Like you do not see, you don't really get to dive deep into their minds. You just hear the same. That's gonna get old, by the way. You hear the same thing, right? The same thing. The same training, the same speaking, the same message. They're not versatile because they're not themselves. They're operating as their alter egos.
To simplify what you're trying to say is that people tap dance the way that they think their audience should think they
That's
should
right.
tap dance versus them just need to be talking, maybe not even dancing.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Or if the video team, right, the media team is telling them you should do this, because I've been there, by the way. Remember, I made a YouTube video about Britney Spears. The 2021 crew, shout out to them. They're like, dude, you want to go viral? Talk about Britney Spears. And I'm like,
did it
oh,
work?
that sounds like a great idea.
Did it work? Did you go viral?
No, I didn't go viral.
You're like, CR, bitch.
It's CR.
What's that thing you used to say, Carlos? You're like, when we're talking about motivation, you're like, motivation isn't where it's at. You need something other than motivation. What do you say?
Motivation is temporary.
Yeah, but then what is the better alternative to motivation?
Oh, inspiration.
Yeah, all right. Be
What about
inspired and not. Well, I was just saying.
Yeah,
'cause you're bringing up
inspiration is in
these-
spirit. Yeah.
These guys, they just try to motivate you, and then that motivation eventually dies down, right?
Easy.
Because it's not consistent.
Has
So
no
you have to
Easy.
you have to tap into something else to keep the longevity to keep it going.
You got to talk about stuff that interests you and that you truly are passionate about. Otherwise,
That's it.
you're just gonna sound so monotone. And that's why I never understood when Pineda said. He
Find
said,
your
you have to
voice.
find your voice.
Find your voice.
I'm like, what does that mean? Like finding your voice. Is it
Shout
like-
out to Ryan
is it like
Pineda
it's all- yeah,
for-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan Pineda for telling me, right? He's like, you just got to find your voice. You'll find your voice. You'll find your voice. You'll find your voice. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Go ahead.
Does it sound like how Ryan Pineda sounds? Like, you know, the high pitch.
The
and like, you know,
Sal,
sick-
remember Sal used to
right.
come down here and shoot content and be like, bro, I'm trying to find my voice.
I'm like, I'm looking through the voice right here. All right, page number 1. I'm like,
Sounds
is it
like this.
one?
Is my
Where's my
in here?
voice? Where'd it go?
Hey,
You're like a little mermaid, bro.
It's gotta be one hairy mermaid.
And then Ursula just takes it. She took your voice. Right?
You know what?
Is that what you mean by
you know what
find your
Adrian's
voice?
voice is?
Huh?
You know what Adrian's voice is?
What?
To be king closer. I remember when you won the first closers Olympics and you just shat on everybody. And then you're like, you know what? I don't need to come back for 2 or 3. I already proved my point.
That actually pissed some people off.
Exactly. That's why it's so great. It was so awesome.
You just leave as a champ?
Yeah,
Like you
no,
don't
he
even
did,
give
bro.
somebody a rematch? They're like,
Like
I want my
Floyd.
rematch.
He's like
You know what,
Floyd,
bro? At the end of the day,
Hey, like Eminem said, right? Remember, he's like, what if you had that one shot?
Yeah.
They had their shot. They had their shot.
And they lost.
It is what it is.
And that's how much it doesn't mean to him.
Exactly.
Because if it
That's
meant
why-
everything
yeah.
to him, he's like, oh, let me try to prove it again and again.
Yeah.
It's-
yeah.
No, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I proved
that's what I
it.
say. I know who I am, and I know who I'm not. And I'm not a Instagram personality. I'm a father.
You're
Christian,
terrible at
business
social
owner.
media,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
You're
People
terrible.
ask, I'm horrible.
Yeah.
People ask me, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" I'm like, it's boring closer. I said, but you're not gonna see anything. Maybe you'll see a post
but
of
that's
my
not
kids and
good.
stuff like
That's
that.
not
But
good.
he-
That's not
what
good.
he does, if somebody documents it and puts it on, like you remember when we were at the first Momentum and he got on the phone and he closed like a 30K deal on the
Yeah.
phone live in front of 30 people.
No,
No
I
one
get
used
it.
to do
I get
that.
it.
Like,
I get it. Can I chime in a little bit about that?
Yeah,
This is
sure.
something I've been talking to Sal about. All right, let me ask you, because you guys, by the way, you both, and thank God this is the right episode to talk about this. You both are terrible at social media.
I vent. I don't use it for anything other than venting.
No,
so I
no.
don't go
Seriously,
insane.
dude. Like, let me tell you why, right?
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you both this.
Hit me. Come on.
Come on.
Hit me with your best shot. All right, ready? Let me ask you both. If you guys posted just one 30-second reel per day, every day, for 365 days,
Yeah.
and you posted it on Instagram, and you posted it on Facebook, and you posted it on YouTube Shorts, and you posted it on TikTok, and then there was this one individual that was kind of like paying attention. Like, let's just say you didn't even have you didn't have crazy followers, you didn't have crazy views. Every post every reel you dropped had 100 views. Okay, 100 views. But there was this one person that was part of those 100 views every single day for 365 days. And then you're out somewhere. We're doing an event, or they come to the event. And then they say, Zady, Adrian, brother, you changed my life.
It's happened.
What's happened?
Would that be worth the efforts of putting out a 30-second short every single day for 365 days? If you saved somebody's life, or you changed the trajectory of somebody's life, would it be worth the energy or the discomfort? Would it be worth it?
I'll let the king answer first.
Oh, hey, listen, yeah, hey, yeah. Ready? We gotta hit the oof button for that one, right? We're gonna start with you first, because Sal and I, we already had that combo, and he has to step his game up, and he knows it, and I'm gonna help him. Okay, so let's start with you. Would it be worth it?
Absolutely.
How about your son? Do you like watching your dad's content? Is he worth it?
He's nodding his head for everyone who can't see him.
No, that's okay.
Yes.
Hey,
Saying yes.
even if it's just your son that watches your content, what about Giovanni? What about Ella? They just watch your content. Nobody else watches your content. Just your son or your daughter or your son. Is it worth it?
Hell yeah.
My daughters watch my content. You know that. His friends watch my content.
They do. Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
The little kids, our little football team watching my content, that alone is worth it to me. Okay? So go ahead.
Yeah, it's 100% worth it. Are you asking for a commitment right now?
I hear that.
This would be the show. This would be the show. Right? First of all, yeah, things just got really feisty.
He
Huh?
hasn't said it.
We're going to go there. We're gonna go there. Hey, things just got really feisty, right? He's like, are you asking me for a commitment right now? Right? Sal, are you committed to, if I help you, step your game up and it feels effortless, are you okay? Are you willing
Bro,
to do
I mean,
it?
if you put it that way, if it feels effortless, bro, yeah, absolutely, bro. If there's not much that I have to do.
This is the content as we're speaking.
Wow.
I know, but I don't post it.
You already have
edit.
no.
You gotta
Zady sent me. He went and got 2 of his clips and sent them to me yesterday
From YouTube, I think.
From YouTube,
Yeah.
and it looked amazing.
Yeah, but that took 5 minutes out of my life.
Oh,
Are you
I'm
saying
sorry.
that's not worth to change somebody's life?
Well, I mean, someone else
Guys,
could do
there's
it.
a way to systemize everything. Okay, we teach this every
Give
day.
me the system.
Okay, so then it would be worth
Hey,
it.
bro, I spread that positivity and that life-changing, that aura through other channels, like coaching.
Doesn't matter, bro.
coaching.
Make disciples of all nations.
You are kind of being selfish. because
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
very
There
good
it
at what
is.
you
You're
do.
right.
No,
Yes.
but you're not good at what you do. You're extremely good at what you do
Oof.
to a level where if you do not share it, you're being selfish.
I share with my team.
That's very true, but that's very limited because there's only 5 people.
I share
in
with
the room?
anybody that comes into these doors.
That's limited. The internet has millions of people.
I'm gonna talk to my wife. I can't make a commitment right now.
That's how you know he has a good marriage.
Let's talk to you, Mr. Zady. What's your answer to that question?
It's okay. So you guys know what I post. I did post daily, but stories. So they go away, so I could say whatever I want.
Hold on. Let's.
And it goes away a little bit,
See, they're gonna get into it. Now.
Time
Go
out,
ahead. Go ahead.
right?
Yeah.
Respectfully, I absolutely am disgusting on social media. There's nothing that I post that's probably, I may put a quote here and there every once in a while.
You're a ghost.
But Zady
You're a ghost on social
built
media.
out an entire Twitch stream and was streaming in character all of his game playing and stuff like that. But he will not post to Instagram.
Wow, you really got your priorities right.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
He's in the back of the head.
hey. Ooh.
Okay. But see, I use it to vent, bro. Like I'll be very upfront. This is the show, right? So I never really finished making content. I was always making videos in high school or whatever, but I never put anything on YouTube. And then my father died, and then I needed like therapy, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go to some weirdo stranger and give, you're not gonna help me. I could help myself with God. So, I prayed, I asked for content, he gave me content, and I made my Zady Lee TV, which
You
was
made an ego pill.
well, there's a bunch of stuff.
It's an attitude adjuster.
So yeah, so
Well,
watch.
the attitude adjuster,
No,
excuse me.
I made the ego pill because I needed to work on my ego, right? So I'm like, let me make a commercial about a pill you jam up your butt, right? Take your ego, put it up your butt, you know what I mean? And you have no more ego. So I'm like, great. Attitude adjuster. All right. Well, I know if I have a bad attitude, it's gonna come back
If you get
to me,
pegged,
By the way,
if you get pegged, that will take the ego completely. Like I don't care what you get pegged with, whether it's a pill or the doctor's fingers.
It's
right?
conceptually,
Your ego
right?
will
It's
not
like-
be existent
I don't
that
want to
day.
say that. It sounds better when you say the ASS word, but it's like you take your ego and you get rid of it. Bro.
Pegged.
You
The word is
jam it up
pegged.
your,
Pegged.
what?
you boof
Pegged.
it. You boof it.
The
Yeah,
kids are saying pegged.
It's called boofing.
You're saying that.
It's called boofing.
You're saying that word a lot, bro. I mean, is that like a new thing you got going on?
No, it's what the kids are saying.
Well,
It's
how do
called
you-
getting pegged.
How do you know what that is?
It's all over the internet because I am on the internet.
So
That's
you-
why I hate
I'm like-
social media.
I'm
You
like,
look at
that's where-
stuff like that on the
Hey,
internet.
hey,
That's why I stay off
guys,
social
appreciate
media.
not being on social media when I hear this kind of crap. I don't
Yeah.
know what you just said. I might have heard what you said before, but what did you just say?
What?
Boofing?
Boofing?
What the heck
Boofing?
is that?
What is that?
Hold on, you guys are letting him off easy. What's
That's
What-
what I'm good at, bro.
no. That's not. Guess what? You posting not only helps people, but it helps the show. It helps the
So you're
helps the
saying just
brand.
repurposing the content that
It
we're
helps
making
the
here.
brand. It
That's
helps the organization.
Yeah.
You posting helps everybody.
I mean, when we did have our crew, they were taking all the clips that I was in and then making, edits.
What's on the
They
screen?
did it for everybody.
Goofy.
I can't read it.
Don't worry,
Can
bro.
you Google pegged?
No, bro.
What is getting
My
pegged?
son's
mean?
right there,
No,
bro.
seriously,
right
just-
there, bro.
Just put pegged meaning. It's okay.
It is not.
Pegged. Another what term for?
Turn around, Isaiah.
Isaiah,
What is it?
eyes
Isaiah,
on
turn
me.
around.
Eyes on me.
Okay. What is it?
Anywho.
Yeah.
So, Zady.
Zady, we're still waiting, dude.
Yeah, so I was explaining, and then I don't know why we went to left field. Right, left field.
You went to left
We went
field
to
because
center field.
you were
No,
talking
I'm saying
about
I use it
an
for
ego
therapy.
pill.
Therapy. You brought up ego pill.
No,
I'm saying I didn't want to get into the details, but I'm saying I was using it as therapy. Anything that I needed to work on, that's what I made the content about to help me.
your wife
My life
showed up today
Yeah,
with the shirt.
I know. It's amazing.
You with your face
Yeah.
on the shirt, right?
Your
Based
kid's
off
face.
your kid.
Your kid's shirts.
My
the-
kid
your
actually-
kid showed
Mom
up with
Jordan
the
had that shirt
character
too.
of
That was great.
right with of the person, your personality.
Yeah, yeah. That was
right?
beautiful, man. That touched my heart.
Well, hello. Like, dude, and like everything, God's like giving you all these different winks and right and hints, and you're not taking them.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah, it is.
You got to step it up, Zady.
Yeah. Maybe I got to work on the ego a little bit more.
Well, the bandana definitely helps.
Wasn't it to the opposite side?
So,
Okay, give me like what would you like to see
Yeah, no, wait.
as far
I would
as
like to see a
action?
post a day for 365 days, bro. Sal, the person that is by far like he probably
most
if I
busiest
go
human on the
look at
planet,
his
yeah.
screen time,
Yeah.
I guarantee you he has the least amount of screen time as far as social media, like Instagram and
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
and YouTube. Well, not YouTube
No,
because you do
YouTube.
a lot of research there.
YouTube, yes.
But
And he listens to
Instagram and
music
Facebook
there.
and maybe even TikTok, he's gonna have the least amount of screen time out of all of us.
We probably have what he has in a year every day
maybe.
consumption. I'm not even.
And guess what?
exaggerating. I think that's.
Guess what? I mean, I looked at his stuff and it needs a lot of improvement, but that's not his fault. Remember?
He's not
Right?
the one
Like,
editing.
like, Sal,
He's
you
not the
know,
one
Sal,
making
what
it,
I do
though.
when I
Oh,
look at it.
I appreciate, bro.
No, but
I
what did I do?
appreciate constructive
But what
criticism.
did I wasn't criticizing you. It wasn't you.
No, but that's still criticism because I don't watch it. I don't
know,
advise
but was
on
I
it.
criticizing you or was I criticizing
The thumbnail,
the formula?
the everything, all
Exactly.
of it. Even how I articulate things. Where I sometimes I like to go super analytical, and I need to I take it from A to Z.
You know, I'll be honest with you. Ready? Max. First of all, shout out to Max.
Yeah.
Best curator in the world.
Yeah, shout out to Max.
Max is the best curator in the world. Like I've been looking for a curator like that, right?
And editor.
For years. Guess what? Even Godfrey, my man Godfrey, who's Godfrey the God, aka Godfrey the genius, right?
Okay, Godfrey does five
Godfrey the
people's
genius,
jobs
right? Even
without
Godfrey was like,
complaining
yo, his
easily.
curating's pretty good, bro. Like I'm
Crazy.
learning from his curating, right, Godfrey? See what I'm saying? Like curating's everything. So when I looked at your curating, I'm like, bro, what's going on here? Brother, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask Max, hey bro, we're paying X amount of dollars to do X amount of reels per month. Can you match that for Sal? Your stuff will skyrocket, bro.
Well, Faisal's definitely watching this right now. Faisal,
Hey,
you gotta step
hey,
it
I
up
love
or
you,
it's gonna go to
Faisal.
Max.
I love you, Faisal, but standards. Anyway, yeah, back to you guys.
I mean, you were talking about all of us,
Yeah,
right?
we're
Why
talking
aren't you
about
guys
efficiency,
making
make it easy,
content?
bro.
Why y'all making no content?
Yeah. Can you
It
get
sounded a
Max,
little different.
yeah, can Max do our content too?
Yeah.
We got it. Let's all talk.
See, now it's a
Now I
talking
think
you guys-
situation,
hey,
right?
we might have to work you through Faisal and then get out.
I'll take Faisal, bro. I'll take
Okay,
Faisal. I'll
okay.
take Faisal, bro.
ID
That's why
probably
I
uses
put him.
AI.
I put him on Faisal
See, here's
because
the
he had nothing.
If you're gonna want me to curate my own content, bro, then
Close.
you lose me.
There.
No, I'm not. I would never
Right?
want you guys
Yeah.
to. No,
My
I
time
would.
to
I
go
would.
somewhere
I would
else.
never
Yeah.
want you to do that.
For Zady, I can see it. For you, I can't. Zady, because he makes.
Yeah,
he
play one
makes-
less video game.
Yeah, you make video like that's your life.
You were
That's
playing
your
video
life.
games at the company lunch today on your phone.
I wasn't playing, but it was on. Yeah, but
Which
but
is
the thing
even worse.
yeah.
He watches people play.
No, so I could do it, right? But but I do it
But I
because
choose
kind
not
of like you know how something that needs to be done in the company, you just do it.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to do it, but you do it because you do it, and you probably do it better than everyone else. That's kind of how I am with editing. Like I'll kill it, I'll do it because I know the craft, and I've been doing it
Yeah,
for
you sent me
so
some
long.
good ones.
But I've been doing it for so long. It's not talent. It's like just skill. You know,
Bro,
you do it
respectfully,
for 40 years, bro.
respectfully,
You get good.
respectfully, you ain't no Max.
Oh my god. Okay, well, good. Max.
Actually, and Godfrey,
Good.
Godfrey just gave me a viral one. Yeah,
Let's
Godfrey
go.
just did.
Can
a
we
viral
give
one.
Godfrey flowers for doing 4 people's
virals?
jobs, bro? Can we give him his flowers for him doing 4 people's jobs himself,
Absolutely.
and somehow he does it quicker than 4 people?
He
Part-time.
does it
I'm
with a
very
passion.
happy. Like seriously, for the first time, but here,
Crazy.
if we're talking
Amazing.
about the show and we're talking about video and right, like for the first time, I'm pretty damn satisfied with what's going on with video for the
Yeah.
first time in like, I mean, we started doing video in 2018. That's what
7 years.
7 years,
Wow.
and we never had the traction we have now. We never had the quality we have now, right?
Hasn't
So-
been this easy ever.
The efficiency we have now. Like I'm very happy with what we got going on.
So you were about to tell Zady. We're back to
Zady.
Yes, to do this for the next 365 days. Let's let Zady cool off for a little bit, right? He's been getting pegged a little hard,
Oh my.
a little hard. So for everybody out there,
Get your shit.
because you're
pushed
sitting
in.
here telling us what we need to do, what would everybody, right? Having a podcast?
Yeah, let's
It-
talk about that,
it-
right?
Consistency.
Yeah,
right?
Godfrey brought up a great point even today. Oh, what's going on, Sal?
Godfrey, you said Godfrey's saying that we should switch it up. He said you were sticking to this point too long.
Yeah,
That's
we
like-
are.
that's
Okay,
like
we
Joe
will.
Biden reading
We
the
will,
cue
but this is
card,
what
you
I'll
know?
say. Hey,
Come on,
hey,
bro. That's what I just did.
yeah. Hey,
Walk out to the left.
This is what this show is. This show is raw. This show is unedited, right? And we love it. But here's what I'll say. When we started this show 1 year ago, this is the 1 year anniversary of this show. Okay.
Yeah.
When we started this show, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna commit to 100 shows. Right? We'll take it from there. We'll see. You know what I was expecting? I was like, as a businessman, you know what? I'm gonna commit to 100 shows and see if any fruit, if there's any, if we're bearing any fruit, right? You know, if people are talking about it, if people like it, you know, if it's catching some traction, whatever, right? If it's bringing some followers, views, whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, 100 shows. And now that I'm a year in, right? This is the beautiful thing about life, and this is the beautiful thing about experience. Now that I'm a year in, this is what I'm telling anybody out there that's watching or listening. If you are thinking about committing to a podcast, if you're thinking about launching your own show, don't commit to 100 episodes. Don't commit to 1 year. Commit to 1,000 shows.
Jeez.
Or don't commit at all.
Wow.
Again, you cannot expect Joe Rogan results without Joe Rogan work ethic.
You know, it's crazy because, sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, I think if you do 1,000 and you just suck, but you make 1,000,
You're-
it'll make
yeah.
a living off of it.
100%. I mean,
That's crazy. That
people
just
will
blew
know
my
who
mind.
you are, right? Like 1,000 shows, like
Yeah, right. Exactly.
the
As long as you do
algorithm might just
1,000.
be like, forget it. Like this dude's just key. You know, the algorithm might be like, just give him
viewers, bro.
Yeah, it's like the Meta might just give up and say, just
It
let him
taps
go.
out. What were
No,
we
you know what
saying?
I think? I mean, I love what you just said about 1,000, but I think there's something that's a little bit more. That's the next step after somebody committing to 1,000.
Jesus, what?
It would be that you do something that you enjoy so much that you can't imagine yourself not doing it ever. So the number
Breathing.
would be infinite until when you just.
I agree and disagree. Let me tell you why. I can't tell you that. See, that's what separates, right? That's what separates discipline from non-discipline. That's what separates commitment from non-commitment. You know what I mean? Is that there's been, bro, you don't think out of 1 year, there's been times where I'm like, I don't feel like doing a show this week.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. Sorry, I think you misunderstood. I meant that after you commit to something, when it comes to 1,000, the next level of that, it would be that I fall
Just
in love
commit for
with it.
life.
I
That's
can,
what- it's called
because
obedience.
it's
Just-
like I want to like. Do you ever say I want to stop traveling with my family?
No?
It's almost like that. So when it becomes
Mm.
something that you fall in love with and you just want to do, of course, are you gonna miss because you don't feel like doing it or whatever the reason is.
Mhm.
But you're doing it for joy now, for pleasure rather than like just a purpose.
It becomes a part. It becomes a part of your life, just like breathing.
Yeah.
And
Like taking a
here,
dump in the morning.
Like
Yeah.
you
Like
can't. Yeah,
taking a piss, brushing your teeth, whatever that is.
and let's talk a little business.
Yeah.
When was the last time that somebody either came into the office or we had a phone call from a future client and they didn't mention the show?
Oh yeah.
Right? Statistically, what they say is like if someone watches your content for 6 to 8 hours,
indoctrination.
they feel like they know you, and then they're like, okay, I like this guy. And then if they like you, what do they want to do? They want to do business with you.
Yeah.
Right? Zady, you're on the phones.
Yeah.
When was the last time you spoke to somebody that didn't like see the content?
Chances, well, I thought you were going to ask a different question. I thought you were saying, when's the last time someone didn't like the content? And I'm like, those people aren't in our system.
No, yeah. Well, plus,
You know?
I mean, why would we want to be? Never. That's a whole different
Yeah,
subject,
yeah.
right? Like,
But-
back to you then.
Yeah, but a majority of people know the content. That's how they know me. Like, Zady, you're the Zady. I'm like,
Oh my
I'm Zady. I'm not the Zady. But yeah, you know, so-
You have a whole "the" in front of your name. Damn, bro.
Zady.
You're morphing
Bro.
into like this mystical character.
Like Yoda, bro. That's
The
crazy.
Yoda.
Wise you are.
Whoa, look at the client we have upstairs, right? This guy paid tens of thousands of dollars to come and learn the game from
Mario,
what
yeah.
I consider the best.
Yeah.
And I'll say that obviously publicly, and anybody can challenge that, and we can go heads up, right? See how that goes. You know what I mean? Just don't forget, it's 2 for 1.
Hold on. Actually, you said 2 for 1, bro. When someone walks in here, everybody is their mentor.
That's true.
Like everybody, like acquisitions, HR,
Yeah.
you know, camera,
Sales,
everybody,
yeah,
sales,
yeah.
everybody.
This
So
guy,
like,
this guy up here right now, he was just like, we're sitting here. I'm going over here talking about marketing, and then I go and talk to Sal about some deals, and then we're over here talking about other deals getting to the finish line.
Yeah.
And then I look at him. I go, it's not just locking up deals, huh? And he goes, oh man, he's like, there's all kinds of moving things going on.
yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I remember when Perry first came in, he was like in his office, and I'm like, hey, bro, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I'm just making calls. I'm like, why are you in an office, bro? I go, you came all the way over here. You got the top sales team sitting right here. You're not like going to sit next to him and like learn. He's like, oh, that's a great idea. Sure enough, the guy sits there for a year. He becomes a beast. He's making 50 grand, 60 grand a month, 100 grand. And now he went to the office and I went back and I'm like, hey, Perry. He goes, no. Zady, I'm not working in the business. When I'm in here, I'm working on the business. I'm like, where did he learn that from?
And you know what? Again, here, let's just clear that up, right? Like, we didn't launch the show to make more money, but because we launched the show, we're making more money.
And being authentic too.
You get what I'm saying? Like, Mario's like, yeah, bro, I watch the shows, and I'm like, what do you think of Zady? Oh, he's the most interesting man. He's the most interesting man in the industry, and you know, he's wild and he's out of left field, and I like it. You know, like, you know, it's like the dude paid tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So
It's a blessing.
it's worth it, man. It's worth it for anybody out there. Now, back to where we were, which is business, right? Anybody out there, again, you know, even guys, you got guys like Virgil who have a landscaping company. He's the only landscaper I know with the freaking Lamborghini.
So crazy.
Right? Like, when you think of a landscaper, you don't think of a Lamborghini, you think of a truck.
Yeah.
He has a truck too.
He has a
No,
truck
and
too, yeah.
if like, yeah, this
Oh.
dude's killing it in the landscaping business, then you think of a really nice truck. You know what I mean, right? Like, you don't think of a Lambo, right? But here's what, again, bro,
Broke that mold, bro.
Virgil, he drops content, bro. That's his marketing.
That's true.
He gets millions of dollars because he's on the front of the lens.
Yeah.
So anybody out there that's watching or listening to, right? There's a lot of people that are camera shy. There's a lot of people that are, you know, they live in a bubble. They live in a bubble, right?
Yeah.
And they feel uncomfortable. Oh, when the camera's on, I just
Wow.
Wow. They just, I'm so scared. De compas.
It's only hard because they're trying to act
No,
who
you
they're
didn't
not.
catch it. I was acting like.
Well, I mean, I got to say about Virgil, like literally when he's talking and then it stops, the camera's off, and he's still the same guy. You know, like it's like that's
That's
why.
what
That's
wins.
you.
That's
you,
what wins.
That's us, bro. Like you talk to anybody that comes through these doors, and they say in front of the camera, behind the camera,
Same, yeah.
it's the same person. It's the same people
That's
you're going to
true,
be
that's
dealing
true,
with.
yeah.
That's what wins. And for anybody out there that's watching or listening, if you're thinking about getting in front of the lens, if you're thinking about building a personal brand or a business brand, if you're thinking about launching a show, right? Be yourself, man. I think Gary Vee, bro, he's been around for like 20 years, right? He's been around and he's been the same guy.
Yeah.
Gary Vee's been the same guy for almost 20 years.
He can lay off some coffee,
Coffee. Why he's a little
This guy's
too
like
much.
permanent
yeah.
coffee
Right?
to fix, bro. Like,
I mean, even like a guy like even Ty Lopez, right? Who I've never, from what I hear, he's a marketing genius. I've never studied him, but he was one of the pioneers of online
that's
marketing,
true,
right?
He was, yeah.
But the guy's still, he's still the same dude, right? He's the same guy with the glasses and the, you know what I mean, right? The way he talks, right? It's kind of, it's I like it. It's kind of cool.
I'll touch on Gary Vee. I don't know if you guys knew this, but anytime he throws an event or goes an event, he has a specific number. I think it's 620 something, some number that means something powerful to him. And he sits there and he's like, all right, I don't care if there's, 500 people, whoever is there, he lets everybody come, shake hands with them, take a picture. Shake hands, take a picture. And he does it for like 4 or 5 hours. So it's a high number,
Wow.
But he just does it. He hits that number and it's like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. So like he just specifically does that. But marketing wise, I think a little bit something else goes into it. But I just thought it was really interesting. It was, a very high number. And the guy for 4 hours, bro, after the event is just shaking hands and taking pictures. It's just crazy.
Authenticity and consistency. That's what this show is about. That's what our organization is about, right? That's who we are. And we try to stay away from swindlers. We try to stay away from grifters. There's so many of that going on social now. This lifestyle / image building, social media, alter ego personalities, right? It's like, dude, you're not, who are you?
You forgot regurgitated.
Yeah.
Regurgitated information. Like, who are you, bro? Like, because, that's the thing. Like we were talking about earlier, it's like everybody, and everybody thinks they got to go the lifestyle route, right? Anybody out there that's, again, this is important. You don't have to. I see these poor souls, man. They look so bad. They like, look at my Ferrari. And then you're like, and then that's it. Like, that's what's behind the curtain. There's no substance. These lifestyle image building people, there's nothing behind. There's no substance behind that. There's no authenticity behind that.
But they
that
make
literally
money,
is the
right?
best that you got. That was it. That was it. Like, oh man, I thought I was gonna get more. I came and I did a boot camp with you, or I came to your mastermind. I thought I was gonna get like this whole like philosophical stoic,
Like an onion.
right? And it was like,
multiple
dude, that
layers.
was like, I just got the dude in the car.
He's like, you want to take a picture with the car?
That's it.
You want to do this angle? You want to sit behind the wheel? How about that?
Wow.
Rotate.
That can only get you so far, man.
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
Those people are going to be taken over by the robots that are being created.
That's right.
Well, they technically are robots.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, it's Carlos Reyes. Thank you so much for watching the show. I don't know if you know this by now, but I am extremely passionate about business scaling. And if you own a business and you've been looking to break through, you've been looking to scale this thing for quite some time, you just don't know how, and you're a serious business owner that's ready to take it to the next level, we're talking multiple 7 figures or north of 8 figures, do me a huge favor. Text the word coach to 623-292-7575, 623-292-7575, and I'll reach out with more information. Thank you. Back to what we were saying, man. Be yourself. Authenticity is going to win.
That's true.
Andy Frisella, authenticity. MFCEO, Real AF, and now he's going to go back to MFCEO. He's been the same dude since I started following him 12 years ago.
And as a person, like as a person, when you talk to him, he's exactly
the same guy.
speed, same everything.
He's not a grifter, dude. He's not a grifter. There's so many damn grifters now.
What is a grifter? What is
What's
this?
this grifter?
What is grifter?
There's somebody who like portray, has bad intentions, portrays to be something just
Con
to monetize or financially gain from people, right? They're grifters.
Satan.
They have no principles. There's no real solid foundation there.
Mainly gold rushers.
Transactional.
Like the guy that talks about an Alabama 3 and a New York 9. That guy?
I don't even know what that is.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Alabama.
Not
3.
him, the guy watching.
Oh.
You'll get it, and come talk to
So
me.
anyway, right, as we wind down the show, I just want to say, man, I'm just feel very blessed. A year later, we haven't even talked about the huge surprise that we got today.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Right?
crazy. That
Our
was
families, our wives, our children, they all came in, and you'll get to see some of this out on our socials, right? And my YouTube. There's a whole YouTube.
Oh, he has the video.
Yeah, there's already a video of our family just coming to surprise us
Already?
and making today special.
Bro, we got to do something about that glass, Godfrey.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh,
Oh, look at that. Look, bro, that's special. Yeah, send it to send it to Max, man. That's special.
The way they pulled it off too, like we had no idea.
I heard I was the last guy to know about this. I was the last guy to know about this. I heard like Adrian and Zady and then you, and then I was like the last guy to know about this, which was it made it amazing for me because I didn't even know. You know what I mean? So that was actually the best surprise I've ever had in my life.
wow.
And you had a birthday surprise on the show.
That was better with our beautiful families and our children.
Wow.
And they're wearing our shirts.
Bro, my daughter's 2 years. She's
wearing
tiny.
her
She's wearing a shirt.
her little
shirt.
Sal character shirt. Right? You got Zady with the glasses on
a
Bon
life
Jordan,
size Zady on Bon.
and little life size little
Camera doesn't see
wrestling
midget hands.
figurine size Zady. Right? The wives are wearing shirts.
Shake you, vato.
We got a
Talking
cake.
like that. You
So
ever
that
hear
was
shit
special.
pushed in?
That was so special. You know what though? What does that tell you also? That tells you a lot about our families. But yeah, number one, they're amazing wives and amazing supportive families and amazing team, by the way. Thank you for everybody here, right?
Everybody, yeah.
But
It's great.
that also tells you that they appreciate what we're doing. Think about it. Think about it. Kids miss school. They got shirts, they got cakes, they got balloons, they got all this stuff put together. It means it probably, I don't know, it might have meant more to them that we hit a year on this show than even us, because I was oblivious to it. I'm just like, whatever. Like we were down here doing another call, right, for Empresarios, and next thing you know, like we get swarmed by just these amazing gifts and surprises.
What's crazy in that show, literally right when I walked in, you were talking, you're like, yeah, I started the All In podcast last February, and you just casually like said it, but like you didn't consciously understand, like, hey, it's a 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
Like that's
But you know
wild.
what? I was talking about this during our company lunch today, right? We just become so consumed by the day-to-day, everything that we're doing and everything that we're building every single day, that we lose that type of importance of a date. Because we're just so sucked in. We got to, sometimes I'll take my own damn advice, right? Like we got to stop and smell the flowers every now and then.
Yeah.
it's easier
gotta
when
stop and
other people
reflect.
stop you,
Huh?
because then it's easier when other people stop you, because then
That's
you don't
probably
have
the
to
only way we
focus on it.
stop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, yeah, because you haven't smelt it in so long. Like now, it's,
Yeah, that's
right,
right.
it's like
You could be
it
in a
takes that
field and you
extra
don't know.
impact.
Yeah.
so just before the show, right? Before we went to lunch, we were doing one-on-ones with the acquisitions team, and we did one-on-ones probably the beginning of last quarter, and from then till now, man, like that at that time when I first did it, I was already like, who's gonna be around here the next quarter, right?
Wow.
Like not because they're not seeing success, but because people will, if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't fit right, if they feel it's too hard, they'll leave, right? And after today's, man, everybody's bought in and everybody's here for the long.
I saw
run.
that. That's what you said today, right? When did you tell me that?
Mm,
When you were like, hey, hey, everybody's bought in. I'm like, well,
Oh, the other day.
I'm like, were they not?
Yeah.
Right?
No,
I'm like,
yeah.
were they not? Right? Because if they're not, what are they doing here?
Yeah. Well, it's not even bought in. It's not even bought in for. It's like long-term bought in. Like you get people that are like committed, like you said, for a year.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I'll commit this for a year.
Mhm.
But these people are now bought in and committed to seeing this till the end,
Mhm.
wherever that looks like. Whether it's an exit, whether they become the executive board at some point.
Yeah.
Those
C-suites,
C-suites. That's what they see.
directors.
That's what they see. And for me, man,
Managers.
it really felt good to see that. We had Bible study yesterday, and the consistency, right? This was back when we went to Utah, when we went to Prime Corporate Services.
Yeah.
And then that's when I kind of saw all this stuff happen, is like, I saw the sales floor full of people. There's trainings going on over here, people winning. But then it was like the culture that's there. I was like, how can we make the culture better? I was like, well, turning employees into people, into good people, right? Where now we're having Bible studies, you're having the financial literacy classes. And I used to think about these things like, man, and we even discussed turning in some of your commission into a potential flip that we're doing, right? Creating opportunities like that. You got to think about it. That's the type of stuff that Google and Apple do. They make it so good. They make the culture so good.
Yes.
It's hard to leave.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit here and struggle for a year or two before it gets better, because it's just such a good environment to be in, and the culture.
Because human beings need more than just money.
Absolutely.
Connection.
Money is one factor, but connection, right? Alignments, acknowledgments,
Mhm.
right? Acceptance,
Yeah.
validation, celebration, right? Human beings, we need more of that. And if you think about it, as leaders, it's very easy for us to lose track of those very important things that people need. Our team specifically,
Yeah.
our staff.
I'm gonna say this one last thing for me, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always say, oh, it's a privilege to be working amongst you people. That was like a nice speech to say, but it's a I can say this with like full conviction, is that it's a privilege to be working under this roof, and as one of the employees, not as an owner
That's
or
right.
founder. And I mean that with every ounce of my, or every fiber of my body, because I truly feel blessed to be here every day in this building and working and doing it with thick and thin, good, bad, and ugly, right? We're here on the podcast, right? You guys don't see the bad and ugly, right? But it's always good. And
They don't see the CRM arguments.
Yeah, they don't see
the CRM arguments from the morning, right?
Or
arguments have gone
it's just,
so much
it's just
better.
part of life, right? But honestly, I think this is the best it's ever been, and it's if I'm saying that, I would like to think that for people in the organization, other people in the organization feel like, oh my God, it's a privilege to work here, when they're telling their friends like, hey, our company's hiring. It's like a privilege to work for that company.
Mm-hmm. But there's also a standard.
Oh yeah, no one just gets in.
That's right.
That's part of the formula too.
There's a 90% possibility. We're like Harvard. We don't want you. Like, we don't want you
I thought of these 3 S's.
unless we really want you.
I thought of these 3 S's to success on the way in to work.
Hit them. I'm going to write them down.
Number 1, standard.
Oof.
Number 2, skill.
Oof.
And number 3 is stamina.
Oof. God.
Wow.
Man, hold on.
That's fire.
Ooh.
Triple S's?
Triple S's.
Triple S.
Damn,
Triple
bro.
S's, bro.
Yes.
You have to first off, you have to set a standard and uphold that standard. Number 2, you have to have the skills. And then number 3 which is where most people fall extremely short.
They can't
That's
keep
right.
up.
Stamina.
They can't keep up.
That's right.
They
can't keep up.
It's not a race.
They can't
It's
keep
a
up.
marathon.
Yeah. No, they just can't keep up.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we were telling one of our sales guys this today at lunch. Remember, like, hey, do we come off as rah, 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 or is it like energy and urgency? You know what I mean? He's like, you know what? You're right. That is what it is. See, he was confusing. Rah, 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 rah. No, dude. This is the energy we bring every day, and this is the sense of urgency that we have.
Yeah.
Either match it or go work somewhere where
It's a little slower
where
pace.
yours will be matched.
Or pass it.
Here, one of my mentors used to say this, and I'm going to close it down here soon. Godfrey's giving me the eye. Okay.
Bombastic side eye.
Yo. He goes, one of my mentors just said this. He goes, you better be fired up with enthusiasm or you will be.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And that's a wrap.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Right?
All right, you want to explain it?
Go ahead. You. What does that mean to you?
Oh my God! So it's you better get fired up, man. Get excited, light that fire on your own, or you're gonna be canned. You're gonna be fired
With enthusiasm.
with in the
Get
same
the
sense.
hell out.
Wow.
Out of the way,
You
Stanley.
better
Get out of the way.
Andy
Andy
Frisella
Frisella,
when he said, "Here is the effing door," in
Oh
the
my
same
God.
manner.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He did. So remember that. You better be fired up with enthusiasm or you will be. And we're out.